say 8 teams will go through, but 8 teams are going to go home right after this next thrilling Miramar. Coming here live for you from Riyadh. Oh, it's a nail biter. Influence Rage. Looked like they were trying to contain the rage. For something of a little bit more calm here to make it happen. They are on the rise, just behind Yangon Galacticos. Will there be hot drops? Will there be moments of fury? The answer is probably.
You'd expect so, and I think if anything, the opportunity, like we heard just at the end from the desk, I imagine it was Max that slipped it in. Hot drops. What are we going to see? Because for some teams, if you know that's it, if you know realistically your journey's over, maybe you try and throw a spanner in the works for some of our other squads, the potential heat that is going to be building on this one. A lot of storylines, and we'll bring them to you as the action develops.
There's an interesting thing here because Alpha 7, like the guys on the desk said, they're pretty much gone at this point. It would be a miracle. One of the best games in PUBG Mobile history. The Team Falcons, on the other hand, they're at 70 points. There's a potential 2 teams overlap them. And who else drops in El Pozo other than Alpha 7, as well as Team Falcons? Will they go for something spicy? We'll have to wait and see as teams start to get out of the plane.
I'm curious, mate. Whose keys are going to be loaded into that crusher? Look at it. Menacing. Those keys will be turned to absolute mush. Bits of gold sprinkling all over the arena. If you do not withstand the might of the survival stage, that is where your organization's key will end up.
The mechanical demon on screen as we head over towards our western side. Team Falcons, they were hella worried. They were hella worried. They went right down towards the south side of the map. Alpha 7 thought, no way. But no one dropped an El Pozo. And if Falcons went for that one, they would have a prime position for this game. On the other hand, here we've got Kinotrope versus Gamax early on. Somewhat of a, let's say, inconsequential team fight.
Yeah, bottom of the standings for both teams, but scrapping it out against one another early. The only difference is there, obviously, taking away some of those potential points for the other top-heavy teams that really do need it at this point. Like you said, that chance to shift at 7th to 9th place, realistically being where we're looking at to see if there'll be any momentum at the end of this one.
Okay, a lovely initial start here from Toshbek over towards Joker, looking to finish off the deal. Does grab it, and again, that's great for Regnum Kaya, another team to overlap, get some more money here in the survival stage. Regnum Kaya is not looking to just finish it in 3rd place, perchance. They're looking to get it all the way up towards 1st. Join their Turkish brethren in Fireflux, and maybe leapfrog them. Right now, teams scattered across the map. Just like that gold dust you were talking about earlier, Jackie, will be scattered across the room. We've got teams over towards the eastern side lining that circle as they're going to be moving over towards the western side around El Pozo. I'd love for an urban finish here to finish things out at the survival stage here at PMWC.
Influence Rage as well. You think, based on what we saw in that previous game, right, the head-to-head for the chicken dinner between them and Regnum Kaya, the difference it would have meant if they were able to steal away those extra points, push themselves further up, guaranteed themselves a pathway into the top 8. Now it's all coming down to this one last game to do just that. Intense game being the name to focus on here, though, as they pick themselves up one elimination point early. We do get to see the rotation from Influence Rage. Non-ship Red Force relatively close by as well. Horror Esports just off in the distance.
Looking to avoid, that's their rank B void here in 9th. Not able to make it in towards that top 8. Non-ship Red Force is a dangerous team. They've displayed themselves as an aggressive team as well. Scrapping, furious. Influence Rage, as angry as they are as a team, not comfortable taking them to task. There's the Falcons, not in their natural habitat within the cave.
think for them, again, natural habitat really hasn't been what we've seen from the Falcons throughout the run of the tournament. Yes, day one of the survival stage, they were able to float through with a lot of good periphery finishes, with quite a slower passive day of it, playing for placements. They played with that tempo a little bit more in the course of today. It's not always looked super pretty for them though, and again, you can see the nerves are certainly there. Looking for a later game finish on this one, didn't want to run any risks of Fing being uncomfortable on the drop. That's why they're so much further down.
Yeah, a lot of circumvention here, honestly, from a fair few of our squads that were worried about it. Remember, there's 8 teams with almost reckless abandon going into this final match, realizing that their chances are dashed in this final game of Miramar. There's only a few that can make that gargantuan leap to get towards that top 8. And we're looking 11th downwards, not really having that chance for Team Vision. There's potential, but losing Volt, who has been the spark on the team, to charge them, allow them to play at their best. Him going down as early as he did, it does not bode well for them, and the circuitry within that team might just be fried.
I think that short circuit actually came in the previous game as well, where Never Alone had the opportunity to absolutely clean house early on into that matchup, but you remember the wrath from Rafa completely fragmented the squad, just left Marcelo in a horrific position towards the end, trying to barely scrape away any points. Just that one elim over towards R8. Could have been a different story, but of course, that's up to you. Nothing is granted, everything is gained, and on that one, it wasn't really that much of a gainer for them.
But Yangon Galacticos, we've taken a look at them a couple of times here, but they are in the terrifying position of 8th place. Never comfortable to be there. The Falcons were able to get a few more points on board today. I think they've done pretty well, taking more risks when they should do. 70 points. There is that big step down though. Right, there's a chance that Yangon Galacticos can get over towards that region, as can Influence Rage, and by no means are Team Falcons safe just yet, and they know it. I think this is a pivotal moment for Team Falcons. If they get in towards that grand finals, I think they'll feel a lot more comfortable in their play. Like we said, I think that they actually needed the practice here in survival stage. There's a lot of pressure riding on their shoulders, and this would alleviate some of it.
Not the cleanest opening path though on the rotation. There is a lot of squads ahead of them and adjacent as well. You're going to be running into some of these teams that maybe are willing to run some crazy risks, knowing that survival stage is most likely where their heads are going to lie when this game finally comes to a close. So opportunities to be fought from both AX and Gamax on the push-up, with R8 and E Arena just off to the side there.
So our final game of the day. Just shortly, we'll take a look at where we're heading. On the largest shrink of the circle throughout the entirety of Miramar, it is on Zone 2, and we head over towards Crater Fields. On the mountainside that runs through it, that currently Horror is owning, but they're massively split at the moment. Alpha 7 even trying to hunt down one of their players on that northwest side.
And this is the fight. It's no fear. He has to live up to his name right here. Throws out the flames and sets ablaze to Carrillo. So low on HP. All it takes is a single shot from Revo.
Horror will be pitched downwards. As No Fear takes a nosedive versus Alpha 7. He had such a fantastic position as well over towards the east here, and just playing split, locked in. R8 making their move on that north side. I think that Alpha 7 is, although not a team that expect to make it in, they're a team that is incredibly dangerous when backed into a corner. Right now, there is nothing to lose for them. There is absolutely, and they are a loose cannon inside of this match.
I think honestly, that's literally the mentality they have to play with. Like we said, as much as it would be an impossible task for some teams, their old form, when they hit their stride in these kind of games, that's when magic would happen. but you have to factor in how they've looked throughout the entire tournament thus far this year at the PUBG Mobile World Cup, at the Esports World Cup. It is not the same team. It hasn't had that same level of lethality.
Falcons, they delay moving into the fray on that north side. Biding our time and waiting it out. You got to go through the checkpoints though, obviously. I'll respect that. But we're closing in now. A lot of teams making their way on over. This southern side of the circle is jam-packed. AX, Kino, Trope, or at least what's left of them. Power also, who took an early dip on that last game. Yangon Galacticos on that western side, getting peppered right now by Gamax and potentially over also Alpha 7 shortly.
Gamax, they could afford to take some risks on this one. Alpha 7 not wanting to dilly-dally there, instead committing to their rotation and looking to get themselves into a better position rather than being caught up with a fight where they could be stabbed in the back by Gamax. The Arena taking hefty hits as well. And who else but Fireflux? Of course, currently in the top spot, position #1 for them, and that's already another point found, 99 being their total off the back of that.
Looking to cross the century in this match here. E-Arena pushed down to 2, and it's unlikely they'll push any further inside of this match here. 92 points. Hard to make work. 11 minutes into the game and only 2 players on board right now. But an opportunity for Regnum Karya to pick themselves up a podium finish. And in come the Falcons. Finally making their way down. We get another circle shift and we're heading over towards the high ground on that eastern side. Nongshim Red Force already set up. Falcons have to go for something a little bit safer here as they pass through over towards the eastern side of the fields.
They took a few shots. The paint on the cars being chipped off, but we can focus up on what's ahead of us. Yangon Galacticus up on the rock side. It's a clean connection onto Squash. Smile being able to commit onto that one bullet back over from Revo. But of course, they cannot afford to lose a single man on this. It's got to be clean.
They're going to wrap around, leave Yangon Galacticos in the dust, but it's Gamax who's coming in, potentially finish the job over towards Yangon Galacticos. They've got to bide their time. They've got to pick up Smile in the meantime and get it moving. And Gamax is only moments away.
Vahita with the crash in, closes the gap between them both. Look at the HP bars that they've got to play with. The sustainability isn't there. Vahita on a nice soft angle, peering in, bullets into the back. Romeo takes a big burst of damage from that one.
SayCloud needs a Nimbus right now to get out of dodge vision. Now Af will find Nalvalo on the first pick there. Not finished off just yet, but it's intense game. They hit that nail, find that coffin. Yangon Galacticos, they want nothing to do with Gamax. They wrap round a similar angle to Alpha 7, watching off in the distance.
They lost Squash, the new man on the block that's been consistent for the team, but right now, he's gone. It's just down to the core 3 from Alpha 7. Fitting that it's the title holders themselves.
Power, Falcons. Similar situation with that last elim that came through from Fireflux. They just jumped into triple digits. Teams will have to bear down upon them and fast. Right now they're on the eastern side coming through from Hacienda, and it is open ground that they have to pass through. You can see players have been taking tags from their side. Easy, up close and personal with the Falcons playing inside the concretes. They have vehicles to work with. You can see the buggy. Only one wheel left to going.
Center circle again as well from Regnum Karya. Influence Rage close by. Two teams that went head-to-head for the chicken dinner into the previous matchup. A lot riding on this one. You can see the move up as well. Gamax swerve round Yangon Galacticus as they make their move. the interesting thing with Power as well, Easy, I think his position's been undetected. He got clear vision onto the Falcons, didn't take the first shot. Instead, he can play off his teammates when their attention is turned and they've got to go for the move. He could sideswipe them.
Let's try and move ahead. You're right. They're going to have a backstab potential on their hands, which is never easy to deal with. Yangon Galacticos currently struggling, though. Constantly hounded by teams here from Gamax, who have taken a bit of a split. Fajita waiting down low. And do they even know his position? As they head over towards Horror right now. Ragnar finding shots over towards AX. Scarface is taken low there from R8. And they'll have to move Jackie.
In the meantime as well, we saw a shot over onto Alpha 7 from Aura. Ooh, quick peek up. Thought he could grab that one, but the response is good from Yangon. Crosshairs instantly flick up. Their eyes light up as they grab onto the knock.
They're hanging on, the speed at which they're flicking around as well. They are hyped, filled with adrenaline going into this match, knowing that their life's on the line here in terms of the tournament. Judo finding more players over towards Vision, but they clap back over towards APK. Say Cloud on the high ground. These shots are just not hitting Jackie.
Sleepy, looking shaky. Didn't instantly bite on the bait that was shown from Say Cloud. And when he did go for the spam, a few bullets going awry. Quite a distance firefight on it, can't commit onto the knock, and he's being flanked from the back line. Turns his attention. Meanwhile, Gamax as well being hit heavy by Vision, still being able to at least respond. They lost 2 players off the engagement, but go 2 for 2 in the fight so far.
Yangon Galacticos shopping around right now, but no, apartments are open and they are struggling to find a home inside the circle. Influence Rage, Diego will find a shot over towards Revo. Inside the shack and more damage done. Sleepy finds Mafioso. 1 player left remaining for Alpha 7.
With that, Vision received the final curtain call in the survival stage, going down to Gamax. Intense game. Just inches away from Fajita as well, trying to keep himself out of dodge for now with the smokes to protect himself. Like you said, Alpha 7, it's been uncomfortable. Twice Revo has gone down. Twice they have had to get him back on his feet. Supplies have got to start to run low.
Easy continues to be a terrifying prospect there on the south side for the Falcons. Hasn't whispered a word, laying in wait. Yangon Galacticos have come through some pretty tumultuous situations. The caltrops were laid down for them and they swerved, they've avoided, and they've made it in with some tumbles, some rolls, some dashes to get towards this position, and the circle continues to move out of their reach. So how will they play out these next couple of minutes to make it in? Intense game, Alpha 7, Gamax all weakened, all injured. It's a full 4-man squad from Yangon. I take that back. 1 player gets knocked and will get shut down. That's by Sleepy.
Sleepy's been doing a great job from the angle up top. But look at this. R8 moving on in to join the party to split down the middle. Meanwhile, Easy, he's been biding his time for so long on this, but the rest of the squad has come over to assist. They look to fight up close versus the Falcons. Good chip damage onto Ragnar. Redox confirms onto that one. Tries to finish him off and will do so valiantly. Still pushing over, but the nades come in. The Falcons get finished. Fahidan's the one to send them out as they fall, and Power live to fight another day.
At 71 points there, Yangon Galacticos is furious going into this game. They have a real stalwart game so far. It's looking worrying. Fireflux move on top of AX, only losing Scarface, and it's an immediate removal from them. But what's terrifying for the Falcons is Yangon Galacticos are still going. Influence Rage with 4 players are in a prime position on that eastern side. They are not through yet.
It comes down to the bitter end, and this is the issue. You have left the fate of the Falcons in the hands of the other teams in the lobby. 8th and 9th position with a huge opportunity here. Last game, leave no stone unturned.
How will Yangon Galacticos play this next maneuver? Much like that zip line above them, they would love for a straight rotation directly into the circle. And they're going to move over towards Kenotrope. Say Cloud making the first move here. Primes a nade in hand, Finale. One of his own, but he's late. Will his be placed better?
It tags, but it won't be able to frag. You get the response back over as well. Easy onto Nongshim Red Force. This is a power squad that are looking lights out at the minute. Fireflux stealing away some of the opportunity on that one with the response from Binny's Bonnet and the follow-up from Tizzy.
My God, Nongshim Red Force were taking the heat coming through from Power, but have just annihilated. Turn tail. Dare you get involved in our fight, Fireflux? We're going to send your way immediately. They angered the wrong beast.
With that, the arena starts to quake. Another move being made. Power plays from the team's namesake themselves. Yangon and Influence Rage still in positions to cause issues later on into this one as well, depending on how this starts to shift. Regnum Karia, R8 and Influence Rage all inches away from one another, just mere space between them on this compound setup.
Ragnar might be down, but cheering them on from Valhalla. Seeing how far and how much glory Power can obtain. That's E-Arena out, and the only team within the top 3 is Power, looking for a first place here. Regnum Kaya will find shots over towards Nongshim Red Force. Binny, with the power of the buggy, survives, stays dead still, and they don't spot him. He will take a lot of damage, but can he crawl away?
Lorezin's able to find it. The UMP hits. Binny thrown away, shut down. That's one elimination they claim, but they've still got much more to get done on this one.
On the back line, Power will take a knock, but it is answered. They will look to pick him up. That's from Kenotrope. Al-Hadji is just going to come back down again. He's got the side angle. They don't know, but it's still 3 players they are roaming into. Let's see how Power handles this. Yangon Galacticos yet to make their sprint.
When push comes to shove for Heater's position, can it cause issues in the backline? Have they forgotten about him? The solo man from Gamax that tucked himself away quite some time ago.
Influence Rage watching on. A fantastic position for them that they can work, but they will have to move. Yangon Galacticos up against Gamax. The first is found. It's from Kenotrope to steal that one away. So Yangon still only up to 2. Looking for the res, but they're trapped in the tunnel. Jiggle will find Carrillo as well as Mafioso.
Alpha 7 being collapsed upon as Horror outdo them. On the push down, Alpha 7 are removed from the battleground. And those reigning champions not having an opportunity to show us the might they were made of last year, falling to the wayside.
Tamra looking to back things off, causing Boys from Power a little bit of a problem, but it is Al-Hadji, puffs out his chest, will send them away. Playing on 2 fronts right now. Nongshim Red Force did send forward with Tizzy. Romeo made it into the circle for Yangon Galacticos. With a lasso, he needs to grab the rest of his team and pull them close.
Oh, sideline shot, it's quick from Pedrino. Up close against Kenotrope. Tamar trying to deal some damage back, but you cannot stop this man. Intense game, showing us what they're made of here. Yangon as well pushing up with the opportunity that's created. They know that Kenotrope were laser focused on that angle. Now they've got room to move. This was the fight in the backline from Horror as well.
Pedrino with a 1v3 makes it happen. We were watching Alpha 7, but what a display of fortification coming through from Pedrino. He was clean with it last game, makes it happen again. And for Intense Game, despite them in 12th place, what a highlight reel for Pedrino in the last 2 games.
Hadji causing issues as well. Power Esports, pinpoint perfection. From the hillside, bullets down, Smile, knocked over instantly. That's Yangdong in a really rough spot now.
Yangon Galacticos. Say Cloud looks to move out for Influence Rage. This is massive news for them. They could overtake, and that 0-point game last match could just be the thing that tips Yangon over the edge.
Tucked into position. Got to slow down the pace on it. No opportunity to get the third man back up. Just play as the duo from this. That smile now fully confirmed, of course, from the knock that we saw earlier from Al Haji. You still get the establishing shots of Influence Rage, Regnum Karia, and RA.
Influence Rage need to make a move slightly sooner than RA as well, unfortunately. Little boy sends down towards that south side. Fahiden moves up over towards Nongshan Red Force. Do they know that Tizzy's playing in this position? Diego spotting over towards Horror for a nice little angle. Nades start to get sent off over towards R8, who are initiating a smoke train. Going early right now. Nade's been sent in. Regnum Karya will have to withstand, but it's a big nade that splashes large.
It's instantly hit them, damage done. They start to advance from it. Nade over the top to give them room to move up, but the vehicle throws in some additional carnage. A misplay from Toshpik. That lands on Silas. The flames burning down the potential control inside of the compound, so R8 can actually close the gap onto them.
Regnum Karya struggling now, and Nade goes in. It hits hard, but not quite hard enough. But the boys are holding safe. This will be a big turnaround, and Toshpik making it happen.
Huge shot onto Prestige. R8 with the momentum that was provided to them. Thought they could crash onto that one. Yes, they really do throw them into an uncomfortable position, but they could still reset from this. They've got an opportunity to try and save themselves the turmoil. Nades are right on target. It's Influence Rage that are looking to set this one up as well, and they need these points.
This is a fantastic maneuver for Influence Rage. They saw R8 push ahead. They've moved round. They find Tizzy. They clear him out. Power Esports down to just the one, but they are so close. They need more placement points to overtake over towards Fire Flux. Jiggle will find Toshpik. Despite the early Molotov and almost cooking his team, he was able to get the turnaround. The great hold overall. Law behind the dead tree.
Little boy goes for the peek up. Meanwhile, Diego dealing damage back over onto Fahidan as well. So Power being really thrown into the wind. Finished off entirely. Regnum Kari is still trapped in position.
And unfortunately, the boys from Power will not overtake. A second place comes home. Looks like it's more and more likely to be Fire Flux. Unless Horror can have a massive turn up here. Influence Rage been taken down. Yangon still in the game.
Silas goes in for the heads-up call to try and do it himself. Oh, shots
this is
over.
Crazy.
Wild, literally going
this is
animalistic. The animal brings the claws out, rips his way through Influence Rage. And the sideline shots continue. Horror battling back onto it as well.
And Yangon might just have survived long enough. Horror up at 3, look at the challenge for first place, but out of nowhere, in comes Say Cloud.
Say Cloud falls out, finished off by Sky. Regnum Karia up against Horror, the last two teams that remain on this one.
Silas, the only obstacle between Horror and taking the first place home here at the PMWC survival stage.
It would have to be an unfathomable clutch. The 1v3 from Silas. Show us the style that he's made of. Jiggle looks for the move up. Sky with the first play. First connection's clean, but he can't do more. Regnum Karia fall, and with that, Horror Esports do exactly what they needed to.
An incredible performance from Horror. We're going to have to tally up the total slightly later on with those placement points. But with that, Jackie, for Alpha 7, we will not be seeing them over towards the main stage. Regnum Karya has a massive step up towards the end of this one. But Fireflux, Power, Horror, all towards that podium. What an amazing finish. And even Yangon slightly surviving towards those end moments despite Influence Rage chasing, but shut down by the man himself, Silas.
And you hit the nail on the head. The trophy that is behind that winning team. The pinnacle of PUBG Mobile. Everything these squads give everything for, game after game, will be crowned to a new team, a new squad. 4 players will take the title this year with Alpha 7 being unable to survive. They did not make it through the survival stage. A new champion will be crowned this year. 2025 is going to be a whole different story.
Tears have been shed. Emotions have been let loose here. Unbelievable performances throughout, and Power just love it here at the survival stage. Easy, making them look queasy with the sickening plays he's been showing.